All right, let's get all of the controversial ones out of the way.
Sure.
Just because these are the ones people ask. Sound demos.
Sound demos on YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love them.
You love them.
Love them. I love them. Like the whole, like I do them, and you know, I've had a lot of people listen to the ones I've done and be like, wow, this sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, of course, the way you record it is, you know, plays a part.
Yeah.
You know, are you trying to get parts of your room into the sound? Is that what you're going for? Or are you trying to just get like up close to the speaker? So I guess it depends on who's doing it, who's doing the recording.
Right, right. I guess, you know, here's my argument, right? Is if I record with a mic, right? I know the frequency response of the mic, right? I don't know the frequency response of the speaker that they're playing it off of or the headphones, but I know the response of my mic.
Right.
I'm going to kind of switch gears real quick and just say a lot of people trust reviewers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the frequency response of a reviewer's ears. You know?
Yeah.
So what am I, you know, at least that's one variable that I know, right? So I may trust this guy, but I don't know what he's actually hearing. I know what the mic is hearing, you know? And then the other argument is that, you know, you can't record speakers. And I'm like, why? Because we can record instruments. We're okay with recording voices, and speakers their only job is to reproduce the things that we're recording, like live instruments that are probably harder to record than a speaker.
Right. Well, you know what's funny about that is when I was, you know, going to school for like, you know, music production and all that kind of stuff, there was a trick to make a software synthesized like natural instrument, like a piano or a violin, sound more realistic. And you know what that was? You would make it in the whatever software synthesizer, right?
Okay.
You do or whatever, and you would play it. You'd set up microphones like 5 feet away from some speakers. You would record the microphones, and you would play it on the speakers to have that more natural sound, so that you can get the air in between the microphone and the instrument.
That was the trick.
That was a trick to make it sound, to make the piano or whatever violin synthesized, make it sound more realistic. Was to record it coming out of some speakers.
Interesting.
So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal. A lot of people they get really upset, you know, in the comments, and there's no reason. Like I don't get why people are getting upset.
So here's my reasoning for doing audio demos that I've done, and the whole idea is, like, I live in a place that's far off from anything, right? And the closest thing I can get to is a Best Buy, and there's only so many speakers Best Buy has, and like their like speaker room is, you know, hit and miss on what's gonna sound good, what's gonna sound not so good. So my idea was to record everything the same way, my studio microphones, you know, 96K 24-bit, using the same Parasound Halo amp, using the same media, same cables, just swapping out the speakers. So even with YouTube compression, including the DAC that's being used on whoever's watching system, right? Whether it's a laptop or a desktop, and whatever they're listening on, if they keep it to like their headphone or whatever sound speakers, they're gonna hear, when I do like an A/B test, they're gonna hear immediate difference between one speaker and the next.
Relative differences between
exactly. Relative differences. The only thing that's different is the speaker. Everything else is the same, right? What they're listening on, the DAC they're using, my microphones, my recording, and then the same amp, the same media, right? I go through vinyl, I go through FLAC, I go through DSD, right? So they can hear all the same exact songs, all those different formats, and the cables are the same. The only thing that's different are the speakers. So I'm taking out almost all the variables except for the speakers. And I feel like that would give them a representation of what it sounds like. Yes, in my room, because you still are getting some room noise.
Sure.
Right? And my room's not perfect. It's a big room, right? And I feel like that would give them a representation on what speaker A sounds like versus speaker B for that song. You know what I mean?
And that's the other thing, right? Let's say you are getting your room sound. At least I know the sound that you're listening to, right? It gives me more information. It's just more info.
You get a frame of reference.
Right? So I'm like, oh, this guy's room is echoey. Right. So You know, maybe he likes speakers that are rolled off because it's so echoey in his room, right?
That's possible.
So
yeah.
it's at least more information.
Right.
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 So,
They're just like me saying, "Wow, these speakers are super clear. Like the highs aren't harsh. You know, the mid and bass is real present. You know, the lows are plentiful or whatever. You know, because it's all subjective. And even my hearing, like I probably can't express exactly what it is I'm hearing. So to have somebody just hear them, like if you don't have access to any of these speakers, then that's better than me just trying to tell you about it. I feel.
I think people like to explain stuff though.
I
think they have fun trying to explain how something sounds.
You know
what
what's
I mean?
funny? Okay, so like last year CES, I was getting a demo of these speakers, and literally in the first like 10 seconds, I'm like, these are great. These speakers sound great. And the guy's like, wait, hold on, you got to listen to this. I was like, no, I don't need to hear any of that.
Yeah,
these are great.
Here's another question related to this is,
okay,
as a YouTuber, I'm sure you feel pressure sometimes from people in the comments asking you to do certain things. Maybe some stuff you might not believe in. Like, for example, if you didn't believe in sound demos, right?
Okay.
Would you put sound demos just to play it safe? Just because I've had somebody tell me that, and I'm like, man, like people really want to hear it that badly that they're like pressuring you. I would say if you don't believe it, then don't do it, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, I believe in it, so I do it, you know? So, yeah, I guess it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I thought that was weird too. I thought it was weird because people are pressuring YouTubers to do it. And I'm like, no, don't, if they don't do it, if they're not already doing it,
you're right.
Don't ask them to do it. They probably don't believe in it.
They probably don't care for those things. Yeah, exactly.
So here's